Hello. Wave at us, Abby. All right.
We're recording.
Yeah, we're gonna try this.
Okay.
Try 2.
Take 2.
And I will go back there in a minute and check if this is actually working. So here, no, pass those
Okay.
up.
Okay.
So, Abby Testu.
My name's
Take
Abby
2.
Testu. I'm an artist.
And if it isn't obvious, we just tried this for about half an hour to get nothing.
Yes.
So we're trying again.
Yes.
So Abby is in Renfrew at the Art Factory, but she actually lives right next to the Art Factory, works in the Art Factory, but is also a fabulous artist in her own right. Some of you may know her work.
Yeah.
This is a large piece that's a work in progress. Did you say 40 by 40
Yep,
inches?
this is a 40 by 40 piece.
And then I just asked Abby to let me pull out 2 smaller ones.
Yes.
Are these 10 by 12 or 12 by whatever?
I think 12 by 14
12 by
actually.
14?
Yes,
Okay.
I love that size.
Because it shows you a finished piece, which for Abby's work includes these beautiful trees.
Always with the trees. Sometimes some mushrooms, but
Yeah,
always with
I
the
love
trees.
that little glow-in-the-dark mushrooms
They're
there.
great.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying actually this UV reactive paint lately.
Okay.
Like there's nothing that brings me more joy than taking a black light and sweeping it over one of my pieces, and there's all of these magical mystery things.
So does that work? Well, obviously it works.
Yes.
It goes on clear or goes on color?
No, colored. So like
Okay.
a fluorescent pink or.
So any paint you buy that's fluorescent will do that. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I've got
that's
some
UV
fluorescent
reactive.
paints, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I thought that's just describing the name, not actually black light.
No, they fluoresce.
Oh,
They fluoresce under black light.
geez, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Abby, tell us a little bit about your art. Hang on, I'm gonna go look at the camera.
Yeah, just in case, because we've been burned before.
This appears to be going. Yeah. Yeah. The counter is ticking.
Okay,
so.
that's a good sign. I feel like that's a good sign.
Yes.
Yeah, so, yeah, I am an acrylic artist. I paint, I guess, energetically.
Mm-hmm. As in you paint the energies.
The energies.
Not as in you're jumping around.
Right, exactly. No, I don't jump while I'm painting. I don't jump at all. Those times are behind me. But all of my landscapes, so I'm obviously a landscape artist,
Yeah.
but none of my landscapes you can kind of go out in the world and find.
Mm-hmm.
These are all my emotional landscapes, journeys that I've been on,
Yeah.
you know, or things that I've discovered about myself, and then I translate them into these symbol-filled landscapes.
Are these fluorescent mushrooms symbolic of anything other than the obvious, I guess?
Yeah, right? Well, actually, I love mushrooms. I don't know what you know about mushrooms and the mycelium networks.
Bits and pieces,
Yeah.
but please go ahead.
Yes, so the mycelium networks, these sort of little veins that come from mushrooms, are like the connection for the forest, right? It's like the internet for the forest, and it's how communication happens between all of these, you know, entities in the forest is through the mycelium. So mushrooms definitely symbolize like a communication, sort of bringing together of sometimes medicine for sure. Yeah. And again, in these numbers, I like to work in odd numbers.
Yeah.
But I've got 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
that's
noticed that with the
intentional.
trees.
Yes.
You, in our previous discussion,
Yes.
you mentioned 3, 5, 7,
Yeah.
never 2 or 4.
No.
Yeah.
I've done a couple of 2s. Like
Yeah.
I can do a couple for sure. Of 2 trees. But and that would, for me, I think we were talking that my trees are symbolic.
Mm-hmm.
My work is sort of infused with symbology.
Yeah.
The trees are really symbolic of more human dynamics, I guess. I was saying that I'm one of 3 girls, so my 3 sisters usually sort of symbolize sisterhood. And 5, I'm from a family of 5. When I have 5 trees, it's really symbolizing more of like a family unit.
Yeah.
A family unit. just like
Yeah.
this guy. This one, however,
That's a whole forest.
that's a whole forest.
Yeah.
That is a whole forest. And this one's fun because usually I use black for my trees and do that. There's no black in this
No,
painting.
I see that. Now looking down on it, I can see it better. Is that Payne's Gray?
It's turquoise.
Really?
Yeah, it's turquoise from
Okay.
M-Gram.
Okay, that's a deep turquoise.
It's very deep and
Yeah.
delicious. A little bit of dioxazine purple in there as well.
Yeah,
So,
that's my favorite.
isn't it so
It's
lovely?
beautiful purple.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's
Yeah.
so rich.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of symbolism.
Yeah. Yeah, so you and I are both painters of landscapes.
Yes.
I feel like yours, they look like, I mean, I hope this is a compliment, almost a fairy tale version of a real landscape.
Absolutely.
You know, a slightly fantastical version
Yes.
of reality.
Yeah.
And mine are, I come at it from the opposite direction. I start with a photograph, so I'm very much grounded in reality, but then I depart. You know,
Right.
then I do the abstraction, then my symbolism, my layers come in after.
Yes.
But I start with a photograph or an actual landscape that I take a picture, obviously, that triggers something that I want to paint that one, and I want to, and but usually by the time I'm done, it's acquired many more layers of meaning or levels of meaning than I had intended.
Yes.
And I think you find those too as you go.
Yes. My process is to start with essentially scribbles, and
Yeah.
what I've been doing lately is burning plants that I've foraged myself, that have great meaning for me and that I think are, or I feel are medicine for me.
Yeah.
Mugwort is one of my favorite plants to work with.
Is that the one that the weed with little spiky thing on top?
No,
Or no?
no, mugwort is considered a weed. Many people
Yeah.
would consider it no good. But I don't know if you've ever seen a plant that it's got sort of small little flowers at the later part of the year.
Yeah.
But it's very green, but when the leaf flips over, it's kind of got a silveriness to it.
Okay.
And that is mugwort.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I work with it all the time.
Yeah.
So I forage it throughout the summer, and
Yeah.
then I burn it throughout the winter.
Dry it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dry it, make some smoke wands.
I'm just looking closer here because it looks like there's almost some crackling happening there.
Almost
Did you use
definitely.
any crackling medium?
Yes,
Or?
'cause you can see that
Yes,
here too.
yes. Yeah, the closer you look, the more you see.
The more you see, more
Yeah.
things are going on.
Yeah.
I have this crackle medium. I don't have any more of it, but it's so delicious.
Yeah.
There is like crackle ground, which I find is a little bit too chalky. It's
Yeah.
too opaque. This crackle medium that I was using is a clear medium,
Okay.
so I could really just throw it on there and let it do what it wanted to do, and then paint on it after.
I have actually forced crackling by putting a wet layer over a dry layer and then hitting it with heat, like a
Yes.
heat gun or a blow dryer.
Yes.
I mean, if you're using a blow dryer, obviously it has to be dry enough so that it won't move.
Right.
But sometimes you can force the crackling
Yeah,
that way.
yeah. I've had some accidental crackling, and I
Yeah.
think it's from that
Mhm.
process. Like it dried really quickly,
Yeah.
which is great. I love those little accidental things that
Yeah.
happen anyway. Even with this crackle medium, I know that it will make that crackle effect, but
Yeah.
I don't put it on with any plan. I
Mhm.
just kind of throw it on and
Yeah. The
see what
happy
happens.
accidents.
Yeah. Absolutely happy accidents.
Yeah. And now I've personally noticed many of your paintings are very, very much blue based, blue bottom, blue sky, blue.
Blue, blue, blue.
Now you did say that the trees are actually a blue, which doesn't come out that much.
Mhm.
But this one is indeed mostly blue.
Yeah.
This one not so much.
No, I know, it's funny,
You
eh?
got the blue band in the sky, but that fades quickly to all the other warm colors.
All of the other things.
Yeah.
This painting here, I actually specifically painted it for one of my dear friends. She's in Alberta,
Mm-hmm.
Erin, and she helped me. So I had to flee Alberta. I was in a very violent relationship, and I had to flee Alberta. And Erin was right from the get-go. She was the first person that I actually said, I think I'm in an abusive relationship. I think I might be getting abused.
Wow.
You know, and she was right there at ground level. So I painted this for her, and I don't think it's accidental that there isn't as much blue, because I'm the blue, she's the pink. You know what I mean? That's sort of how it's always been.
Yeah.
So I think that is a meeting of her and I. It's not just me in there.
Yeah, it's the two spirits coming together.
Yeah,
and they do kind of bleed together there.
Yeah,
the pinks and the blues.
Absolutely. And again, the 5, right? A family unit. Even though it's just her and I, she is family to me. You know, she is absolutely family to me. And then the mycelium, she's on the other side of the country, but we are still connected. Yeah.
Do you I found your phrasing just now interesting, if you don't mind.
Please,
going into it, that you said you at some point you talked to your friend and you said, I think I might be in an abusive relationship. Is it not amazing and on some level incredible that we can find ourselves in those places and not know it, and not be able to put your finger on it?
We didn't know. I didn't know. I see a lot of things online now where they say, you know, if you're in an abusive relationship, you know, there's a hand signal and you can tell people. And I saw those things when I was deep in an abusive relationship, and it did not occur to me that was for me.
Wow.
I had no idea. I had completely thought that I needed to get my act together. I had to fix me to stop whatever was happening with him, you know. Like, that's on me, my bad. I'll do better next time. I had no idea. And it was just sort of about a month before everything ended where I was like, I called my friend Ern, and it was like, Ern, I think that I'm in an abusive relationship. Like, I think that this
Did she say no shit?
Yeah.
Sorry.
She did.
Yeah.
And I told Ern because one thing about being in an abusive relationship like that is you've worked so hard to create a facade. So nobody knew I was in an abusive relationship. Not only did I not know, nobody else did either, because I really worked hard at creating a show for people.
Yeah, look good.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I was really afraid of is to say out loud, hey, I think I'm in an abusive relationship, and then I lose all control. Then, you know, things happen without me pulling the trigger. You know, people are going to call the cops, and I'm just coming to terms with the fact that I might be in an abusive relationship. I'm not ready to go to the cops and say, you know, he did this to me, because I'm not even convinced that it's that yet, you know. But I knew that Ern would be a safe place to say, you know, I think that this is happening, but I need you to trust me and to be with me, and anything that you want to do, you have to include me in it. You know, and it got to the point where, you know, she was coming to check on me in the mornings and make sure that I survived the night, and it got to the point where she was just like, Abby, like, this is not, you know, this is not okay.
No way to live.
Yeah, this is you're going to die. This is how people die.
And for everybody out there, first of all, if you start to think you might need help, please look for some help. There's people out there. There are friends, there are, you know, doctors, and it's hard, but it's worth reaching out. If you think just maybe I'm not in a good place, please reach out to someone.
Yes.
But I've heard comments in the past, sometimes on TV, you know, with survivors, and people will say, why would they wait so long to come clean, or to accuse, if it happened 20 years ago? And I mean, there's all sorts of answers to that, including fear.
Yes.
And processing. But as a very, very small example that would have been much less traumatic than what you lived with. When I was growing up, I was in school. I was outside Montreal, so I was going to Cégep.
Mhm.
And I stayed to work with a friend one time, and our lockers it was an old building, so our lockers were in opposite ends of the building downstairs.
Mhm.
So we're done, and we're going to go and get on the bus and go home. I think we walked to the bus together, then we would have split up. So I go down to my end and get in the locker. So it's a building built on a hill, so there was an outer door there. So I go down to the basement, go to my locker, getting my coat on, and somebody grabs me from behind. And so I've got my arms behind my back, you
Mhm.
know? And at first I thought I didn't have a boyfriend or anything, but I had a lot of friends that we would just hang out together.
Yeah.
And I thought one of the guys was being funny. It felt strong. I thought it was a man.
Yeah.
I thought one of them was being funny. I'm like, very funny, let go. He didn't let go. Then I start naming names, Tom,
Mhm.
Dave. And then I started getting a little scared. So I struggle. Now, as a female, I am pretty close to 6 feet. With shoes on, I'm 6 foot tall.
Yeah. And
so it felt like he was trying to wrestle me to the ground, and he was holding something. I don't know what. And I couldn't get away, but he couldn't get me down either.
Right.
So at a certain point, he gave up. He let go, ran off. There was a car waiting. He drove off.
Wow.
And so, and I'm 17. And so my heart's pounding. I get my stuff. I lock up my locker and I go up, and my friend is like, what took you so long? So I tell her, and she said, well, let's go find the guard and say there's an issue. And I'm like, no.
Right.
So I went home devastated, somehow lost my bus pass in the process, had to call my dad to pick me up, who's saying, what's the matter?
Right.
He knew I was upset, but I wouldn't say why. I didn't tell anybody for 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
And why? I did nothing wrong.
You did nothing
You
wrong.
know?
Yes.
And shame, I think my first reaction was my parents were quite protective.
Yeah.
If they know, they won't let me out of the house.
Right.
But
You
that
don't get
wasn't
under control.
Yeah, that wasn't the whole story. There was something in me that was hiding this.
Yes.
And so when I hear about survivors and people will say, but you waited so long to tell, but why didn't you? It's not that straightforward.
It's not that straightforward. Not at all. There's a lot that goes on internally.
Yeah.
Not just not being aware that is abuse, but that it's almost like for me, it was almost like an admittance of weakness.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Not being good enough.
I wasn't good enough,
Yeah.
or I effed up so hard that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, this person had no choice but to beat me up, or
Yeah.
and it
Terrible.
sounds, when I say it now, I realize how ridiculous that sounds.
Yeah.
But when you're in it, and when I was in it, those things sound like absolute truths.
Yeah.
They sound like, warning signs to not say anything.
Yeah.
I had an experience between leaving my husband and being with this man in Alberta. And I went on a date, and this man kept me for about 8 hours, and I didn't think I was going to survive.
Wow.
And I did. I escaped. I literally escaped.
Yeah.
And I called my friend, who had been frantically trying to get a hold of me. This is the days of Blackberries. And I ran to my car, and I got in my car, and I called my friend. I didn't know where I was. It was very dramatic. And I said, I finally escaped. And she was like, what do you mean escaped? And I'm like, I just want to go home. I just want to go home
Yeah.
and have a shower and not talk about this ever again. And she said, yeah, absolutely. Just come on back home. And of course, I got pulled into the driveway, and she was waiting, and she said, get into the passenger seat. We're going to the cop shop. And I did tell the police, and I regret it to this day. I told the police, and they pretty much said, how are you going to prove that? You know what I mean? Like, you sure you want to pursue this? It's going to be really hard to prove, even though I had, bruises all over me, hair missing, you know, there was DNA evidence that all
Yeah.
could have been taken, right? But so those type of things, and again, that's not a unique experience. That's not. That is how a lot of women are treated when they speak their truth.
Yeah.
So when it came time to, you know, speak my truth again, I learned my lesson from that experience. You know, like nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, the abuser will be protected.
I hope that's changing.
I hope.
Over time, I hope that, you know, yeah.
Yeah, I hope so too. My experience 10 years ago, fleeing Alberta with the police, and with the Crown attorneys and things like that were not good. It was not good, unfortunately. And with victim services, it was just not good. And there was a lot of cracks that, or we're going to say chasms, that you could fall into. And you know what I mean?
And yet,
yes,
despite, you know, I hear that level of struggle and difficulty and resistance, and yet you've got this whole other life now.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have that. I wouldn't have this life. I don't think I would be as far along in my own, like, spiritual and emotional awareness without those experiences having happened. You know, I don't think I certainly wouldn't be the painter I am today without those experiences.
So those experiences are showing up in your art?
Yes.
I'm going to just put these away.
Yeah.
And then, is that something you can tell us about, how these experiences turn up in your artwork?
Yay! Absolutely. So a lot of, as you can see, my artwork looks like it's, you know, saturated color and vibrant and, you know, happy. And they are visually, but a lot of them are dealing with a lot of dark and deep things about myself. And it's how I come to terms with a lot of things that have happened to me. I have one piece, it's not here, but it's really all about, and if I look at this piece now, it's actually in my bedroom because I'm not ready to for it to find its home. But if I look at it for too long now, I still will cry. And the piece is called Annihilation in order to facilitate expansion. And it was really about like a phoenix doesn't rise from feathers, right? It doesn't rise from soft, happy places. It rises from ashes, and the only way to get ashes is to burn it all the fuck down. And and that's, you know, those are the types of things that I'm exploring, is you know.
And I do see with your work also, I feel like I see light layered over darkness, but then also darkness sometimes layered over the light. It's that interplay of not just layers, but layers of darkness and light.
Darkness and light, absolutely, because that is what life is. It really is. I mean, even saying, like, you know, those experiences, you know, while dark, have made me the painter that I am today. That's a perfect example of light layering over dark and dark layering over light. It's complicated.
Yes. Yeah, it is. And, you know, just to return to the other topic for one more time, for all the frustration and really danger inherent of you having talked to the police and not having had the support you needed. And I'm sure, you know, people will say, well, some do, some, you know, but for all of that, I would say, is there any regret on your part? In, first of all, the fact that you did is another person going to them and saying, this happened. And these things need to be addressed. So that's my regret when I think back to my teenage self. And I cut myself some slack. I was young and, you know, but if I had told at least that security guard, maybe they would have changed the locks on the doors. Or maybe they would have, you know, set up a camera or had somebody go check it. Or maybe like, I don't know if this was a one-off or it tended to happen. Maybe I could have helped somebody else not experience what I did.
Absolutely.
And again, I was lucky things didn't go worse than they did.
Yeah.
So for me, there was the guilt. At least you know you tried.
Yeah.
And maybe if they hear it enough, get to the point that
Yes.
the response becomes better.
Yes.
I hope.
Yes, I think so. This was in 2011 in this particular instance, and I believe it was about 3 years later. It was the Waterloo Regional Police is where I was, and it was about, I think, 3 or 4 years later that a big story came out specifically about the Waterloo Regional Police and how they're handling sexual assault allegations.
Yeah.
And so they did a big audit of things, and I know that they were trying to better that process. In 2011, I didn't see one female. There was no female officers, you know what I mean? And I think that now changing. It's important to have a female present.
And if there are police officers, male or female, listening, this is not to bash anybody.
No.
This is a personal lived experience.
Yep.
And hoping that the world becomes better at dealing with these things.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think it is.
Yeah. I don't think 100% of the time this happens.
No.
But it does happen.
But it does happen.
And I think it's important to say it, and again, not to bash our police officers and you know, law enforcement officers at all, but to reach out to the people who maybe have had that experience and to let them know you are not alone, you know, that was not your fault.
Yeah.
You know, and that's important too.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody deserves to be treated with respect.
Yeah.
And and it's never your fault if somebody else treats you disrespectfully.
No, exactly.
It's always them, not you.
Absolutely.
Always.
Yeah.
Because there are certain people who will never treat you disrespectfully, physically, emotionally, anything.
Right.
So how's it your fault if some people will treat you well and others won't?
That's right.
It's not.
That's right.
It's,
No, you can't control others.
No.
You know, you can only control you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So art became your new life?
Yes. Very quickly.
Yeah.
Yes. I can't remember if it was this time around or the last time, but I used to be a tattoo artist.
Right.
And I was not a happy tattoo artist.
Yeah.
Started watching Bob Ross to chill out. And
if we're repeating ourselves, sorry.
I apologize. But the Coles Notes is that while watching Bob Ross, I thought, man, I really want to paint a nice guy.
Yeah.
So I did, and immediately put down my tattoo machines. It became very crystal clear to me. I am a painter. I'm not a tattoo artist. Yeah. And the rest is history, as they say. Yeah.
And you've certainly found your voice, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and you are entitled to change that voice as time moves on. But I see very distinctive art by Abby.
Yes.
When I see your pieces, I can pick them out of put them in a museum, I'll pick it out.
Right. Like, oh, that's probably an Abby one right there. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. My style has evolved, but it's always been sort of the same at the same time.
Yeah. And this is gold paint?
It is, yeah.
Just gold acrylic?
Gold acrylic paint.
Yeah.
I also like to use gold acrylic ink.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure this is the paint and not the ink. The ink is
I haven't tried not the acrylic. I have acrylic inks. I haven't seen a gold one. So, but now I know there's alcohol inks, and we have friends who do beautiful work with alcohol inks. One fear I had is I was reading up one time that they can fade over time, and I don't really, any paint will fade over time, but some are more transient than others.
Yes.
So that's something that I always wondered, I don't know how quickly they fade or how.
I don't know about the other inks, but I know that the gold, I'm pretty feeling good about it. Yeah. It's mica based, so
that's great.
It's not a pigment.
It's not a pigment
that can fade out. It's mica.
Oh, that's nice.
It's hanging out. It's there. Yeah, it's there for the long run. Yeah. And I do love acrylic inks. They're so delicious.
They're very cool because there's an intensity to them.
Yeah.
They're so thin, you would think they'd come out really watery.
Yeah.
but they're not watery at all.
Right. I love the effect of drips. I don't know
Yeah.
if there was a lot of drips underneath what's
I
happening
can sort of
here.
see it in the light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And acrylic ink is just so fun for drips.
Are you also spraying with water, or are you just letting it? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
When I'm standing in front of a canvas like this, I
Yeah.
have my my art smock
Yeah.
on, and I usually have a spray bottle in one hand
Yeah.
and my brush in the other, and it's a lot of misting before I put on the paint, and then misting after I put on the paint,
Yeah.
and a lot of blending. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah, I think I use my mister as much as I use my my paintbrushes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a funny little story about a painting I did. It was a commission for it was a wedding gift.
Oh yes.
So the people who were giving the gift had found a photo the groom, before they were married, but had shot out west of looking out from a ski hill, I guess, towards some mountains. They loved the night skiing and the outdoor life and so on and so forth. So they got the picture off the internet, off Facebook, and sent it over to me to paint. And the good thing about, I do paint whenever I've mentioned this in the past or future will, but very much grounded in reality. I start from a photograph but then abstract.
Yeah.
So going ahead, and so it was the night sky, the mountains, and then at the bottom there were some trees, but they were all snow covered. And so I'm happily working on the night sky and the mountains, and I come to the trees and I start to struggle because I didn't want them like really representational, but I wasn't getting the effect I wanted. And so I struggled for an hour, getting more and more irritated, and finally I was so fed up, I took this painting outside, stood it up against a tree, and took a hose to it. Literally took a hose to it. And I'm like, this one is no good. This canvas is done. I'm going to have to start over. Took the hose to it. Of course, the background paint was so dry it wouldn't come off.
Right.
And so I just stomped away in disgust. Hour or two later, I go back there, and the trees, those white trees, the water has run, and the trees have kind of not bled, but sort of combined with the background in the perfect way. Looked like frost on a window. And I'm like, it's done. I guess I was flabbergasted.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I took a hose to it in a temper, basically,
Right.
and came back, and it was perfect.
Right. Sometimes we got to get out of our own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it needed the hose.
It needed the hose. It needed a little bit of drama.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, how many paintings would you do, and like, what's your timing? Do you do a whole bunch and then nothing? Do you work steadily day by day? Do you do 3 in a month, 30? You know, is it possible to say?
Yeah, I think it changes.
Yeah.
It fluctuates. Like right now, because this is a commission,
Yeah.
and it's something that I don't necessarily have a deadline, but within me, I feel like I can't spend all my time on other things. I really want to focus on this.
Yes.
So
understandable.
I have been focusing on this, but if it's not a commission, I've been doing at least a painting a week, and sometimes they're just a 12 by 14.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes something a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
I do like to have sort of a cycle. There's a number of paintings sort of around here that are in various states of completion.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like to be able to say, I just need a break from this right now, and I need to focus on another energy.
And sometimes you have to wait to see.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you think, okay, this might not be finished, but I don't know where to go with it.
Yes.
And you just live with it. And then eventually, and I've had this happen after an hour, but I've had it take 2 years.
Yep.
That I come back to something and like, now I know.
Now it's ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I pull up this little one here?
Yes, please do.
So is this a work in progress?
This is a work in progress.
Now, this can stand on its own.
I know. My friend saw this and she said, Abby, stop immediately. I love this.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
She knows my jam. I usually paint over things, so she said, just stop.
The reflection value of the bubbly dark on the top and then dripping down underneath.
I love that. I love like doing the spritz of water and
Yep.
then pulling it up with paper
Mhm.
towel. Oh, I love that effect.
You ever do that with alcohol?
No, I haven't
Just-
really played with alcohol a
Just
lot.
rubbing alcohol from the in the spray bottle from the
Yeah.
grocery store, the pharmacy. You spritz it on and you'll get effects.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
That's beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly,
Like, done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's
can
what she
be.
said.
now
Yeah.
whether you need to do more to it is a different question. But
Well, that's why it stopped. I've had this for about 2 months, I think,
Yeah.
in this state right
Yeah.
here. My friend said, stop.
Yeah.
There's going to be trees.
yeah, the pinks are beautiful.
They're so delicious. That's that UV like fluorescent.
Oh, is it okay?
Yeah. So
Okay.
if we had a black light, this would
Mhm.
just
Glow.
do some really amazing things.
Psychedelic.
Yes.
It feels, I don't know if it's just because it was against a wall, it feels cool, but then the paint wouldn't be damp anymore.
No.
on this one, no.
No, not at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Not at
I
all.
almost, yeah. Like your friend, I could see this as a standalone,
Yes.
or, and you're the artist,
Yes.
I'm just saying what
I love
comes
it.
to my mind
I love it.
is almost like transparent trees, skeleton
Right.
trees or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
anyhow, I don't want to say too much because it's your art.
Yeah.
Can I
well,
just stand?
Oh, please, yes. Yeah, like I said, it's been hanging around for 2 months, waiting for some completion. You know, one of
Yeah.
those ones.
Yeah. Yeah. And I always do end up going back to my teaching days because when you're teaching class after class after class, you start to see themes emerge in teaching the art, but also you start repeating yourself a bit.
Yeah.
But I hope things that are worth repeating. So I did used to say when kids would get frustrated, put it aside.
Yes.
Put it aside, come back to it, and it'll be different tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, even when you think something's finished, like sometimes they said, I'm done, I'm going to sign. I'm like, do not sign today.
Right.
You go home, you come back, you look at it with fresh eyes. That was always my expression, fresh eyes
Fresh
tomorrow.
eyes.
Then you'll
Sleep
know.
on
If
it.
you look at it tomorrow and you say it's done, then it's really done.
Yeah.
If you look at it and you say, ooh, I just noticed something, then it wasn't done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I never sign my art the same day I think I'm done.
No.
Always at least the next day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I did a piece for somebody, my friend's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
It was already almost done, and she'd always wanted. It's actually an underwater scene. I've done very few of those.
Yeah.
And I showed it to her, and because she had always said she wanted an underwater painting, she said, "Yes, that's the one I wanted." So great. I finished it and then put it here and didn't sign it because I wanted to have that, like, is it truly
Yeah.
finished? You know what I mean? That moment. My friend came to pick it up, and it was like, oh, I gotta sign it, actually. I guess it is done.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Now I've noticed you've grabbed your pendant a few times.
Yes.
Is that what kind of stone is that?
This is Larimar.
I don't know that one.
It is exclusively found in the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
But if you're into the metaphysical meaning of stones,
Yeah.
it's said to be for, like, the blue, sort of indicating your throat chakra. So,
Okay.
you know, speaking your truth and communication and things
Yeah.
like that, which I thought was pretty apt for today in our
Yeah.
conversation. Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah.
And that's gonna prompt me to say,
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen to the end of some of my other videos, but also on my email signature, I use Beauty is Truth as my email.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes from a little quote from the end of a poem that says, beauty is truth and truth beauty. That is all you know on earth and all you need to know. And I think, I don't know how long ago I read it, but to me those are words to live by.
Absolutely.
And that was the reason I chose it as my email signature, to remind me, or my email address, to remind me every time I type in beauty is truth.
Yeah.
In case you want to email me, it's
Right.
beauty.is.truth@gmail.com. But yeah, it's a reminder. And what I love here is that you are really painting your truth,
Yes.
and that creates beauty.
Yeah.
You know, you can't. I believe you can't create something beautiful that's not true.
No,
It's-
that's true.
It's incompatible.
Yeah,
Might not be pretty.
Right.
It can be ugly, but it's still beautiful because it's true.
because it's true. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and I'm pretty sure a recent, because I do watch your podcast.
Okay, thank you.
The difference between pretty and
Yeah.
beautiful, and you had that conversation. And that's true. You know,
Yeah.
things can be sort of inherently ugly, but
Yeah.
actually are beautiful.
Yeah.
You know.
And I don't know if you remember a band from out west back when called the Northern Pikes.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
So they have that song that goes, "She ain't pretty, she just looks that way."
yes, and that's true because you
Yeah.
could be very pretty and not beautiful at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I think with all our technology slip-ups,
We did good today.
we did pretty good. Is there anything else you wanted to say, or you're just happy to
No.
call it a day?
This was so lovely. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
Yeah.
playing along with me.
Oh, it was great. It was
And
very fun.
lots of fun. And I will put all your contact details and some extra pictures in the details of the video.
Awesome.
And this is going to show up on YouTube and Spotify. Although I am struggling with the Spotify, it might take me longer to get it on there.
Because again, technology.
Technology, exactly. So thank you so much, Abby.
My pleasure. My pleasure.